Have you ever applied screeding putty, waited hours for it to dry beautifully, only to come back and find cracks running across your wall? It is painful. It ruins your finishing. For many paint manufacturers, it destroyed their credibility with customers not trusting them. Today, I will reveal the real reason for screening cracks and how to fix it permanently. Hi, I am Coach Glina, your paint manufacturer's mentor. And let me confess, years ago, I wasted so much time and money trying to fix screening cracks. I blamed the wrong chemicals. I argued with workers, customers were angry. I almost quit producing screening potty paint. But when I discovered the science behind screening potty paint, everything changed. My screening potty stopped cracking. My customers trusted me again, and my paint business grew massively. Yes. Look at this wall. Cracks everywhere. Imagine spending hours screeding and customer waiting for smooth finishing and then boom, cracks everywhere. It's annoying, right? Not only annoying, it makes you lose your credibility. So this is one of the biggest frustration paint entrepreneur face. But today I will show you not only why this happened, but also how to fix it, like I said, permanently, and then you know the cost. Because if you don't know the cost of any problem, how are you going to solve it? Like I said, when I started, I wasted months blaming workers, blaming cement, and I blame even the weather. Customer shouted, I lost contract and I almost gave up. You understand? But when I studied the chemistry of screening wall putty, I discovered the truth, and that's what I will share with you. So let me not waste your time. I remember one of my students in Ghana, John. Hi, John. Hope you're watching. I need your review. You understand? He had cracked in every project after applying screening putty. But when I taught him this method, it changed for him. You understand? And he has lots of contract after learning this same technique that I'm teaching my community today. And I remember that I have to bring this over here because I've been having secret complaint about this screening wall putty cracks. Now, here are five major causes of screening crack. Number one, wrong mixing ratio. That is too much water. When you add too much water into your screening putty, the mixture becomes weak, which so many of paint manufacturers are not aware. You understand? Water dilutes the binder, meaning the screening has nothing to hold it together when it dries, and that leads to cracking. You understand? As the water evaporates, the putty shrinks and the um it pulls apart. Visible cracks appearance. I know most of you have seen this. You understand. So now the proper consistency start running like soup. Then this one will also lead to mocha cracks when it dries. You understand? So number two, weak binder. That is PVA versus acrylic. Many paint manufacturers use PVA, which is the polyvinyl acetate, because it is cheap and easily available. You understand? But PVA is weak. It doesn't have strong flame forming strength. You understand? And it makes the putty to be brittle, especially on a large wall surfaces. Brittle means it doesn't make it to gum, but acrylic binder are far stronger. You understand? They form a flexible elastic flame that can expand and contract with the wall without breaking. You understand? So PVA is for temporary low cost projects. Acrylic is for professional, long-lasting projects, and if you want durability. The third is poor surface preparation, which I've taught most of my students. The dust and the oil and damp wall are just like that, and you start applying your screeding paint. You understand? If you screed on a dirty, dusty oil or damp surfaces, the putty cannot bond properly to the wall. You understand? Dust equals to weak adhesion. You understand? The screeding sits on top and flakes off. That is why you see the cracking. And when it's oil or greasy, it totally rejects the screeding, literally peeling off. And you ask, does screeding putty peel? Yes. And when you talk about the dam, water pressure inside the wall pushes the screeding out and causing bubbles and crack. In this case, it's very tough. You understand? So the solution is always clean, dry and prime the surfaces with stabilizers or sealer before screeding, and you can use acrylic binder to just apply on the wall before screeding your wall. I've given you a secret, which I know most of you don't like doing. You understand? Number 4, layer thickness. Why this is better? You understand? Most beginners apply one very thick layer of screeding thinking it will cover fast. No, but as the thick coat dries, the outside dries quickly while the inside remains wet, uneven, drying, causing stress crack. And this is one of the top secret of having crack screeding paint. The tiny coats, which is the 2-3 layers, dry evenly and create a strong, smoother finishing. That is why you need to apply 1, 2, 3 coats. I know it takes time, you understand, but you need to achieve a more durable screeding putty wall paint. You understand? So the 5th one is harsh weather condition, sun and heat drying too fast. You understand? So if you screed under hot sun or strong wind, the water evaporates too quickly and the screeding doesn't have time to cure. You understand? Gradually, so it dries hard and brittle. You understand? So this suddenly shrinkage leads to crack, especially on exterior walls. That is why most on exterior walls you see the crack. So what you need to do, you need to use the bamboo to shift to cover the walls. You understand? So this is an expert tip. Cover fresh screeding with damp clothes, sheet, or do the work easily early in the morning or evening to avoid direct sunlight. Don't go screeding on a broad, hotty, sunny day. You understand? Many people think cement alone guarantees strength. No. The screeding binder matters more than the cement. You understand? So here are 5 solutions on how to fix your screeding crack permanently. You understand? Number 1, use acrylic binder, not PVA. Don't get confused. We have the PVA, we have the acrylic binder. You understand? Acrylic binder are strong, flexible, and water resistant. They allow the screeding to expand and contract with temperature. You understand? Temperature changes, preventing it from crack. That is why it's advisable to use acrylic. You understand? PVA, in the other hand, is like paper glue, cheap, but it's weak. You understand? So acrylic is like cement glue. It locks everything together. I'm not saying PVA is not good, you understand, but I'm talking about screeding paint. You understand? If you want your screeding to last, always invest in, or rather, acrylic binder, even if it costs a little more. Cheap is expensive in the long run. You understand? Please take notes. Number 2, correct water to binder ratio. This process is very important. See, too much water weakens the screeding. Too little water, it's difficult to apply. The ratio must be balanced, please. You understand? Think of it like cooking rice. Too much water makes it soggy. Too little water leaves it hard. You understand? Same goes with the screeding paint. You understand? The water ratio has to be balanced to avoid it from dripping too thick and hard separation. You understand? I might not be aware because you don't know how it's going to be on the wall except afterwards. You understand? Always measure water with a cup. You understand? In that way, you be able to avoid crack. You understand? And number 3 is apply multiple tiny coat, not one thick layers. Like I said, I've explained it before. You understand? Thick screeding dries evenly You understand? The outer layers dry faster while the inner layers stay wet, creating stress and crack. I explained it before. So you have to apply your 2 to 3 tiny layers, allowing each to dry before the next. I know I repeated this um, method again. You understand? So you avoid this cracking stage. In case of most of us that are painters, you understand that we'll be applying our screeding putty on wall, or if any painter complain about your paint, you teach them this process. You understand? Tiny layers save money because you reduce wastage, plus your finishing looks professional, which a lot of people are not aware. And the fourth is prime with stabilizers first. Okay, now a stabilizer is a clear or white seal. You understand? It helps dust or chrome walls and helps screening stick strongly. Without it, screening just sit on the surface and crack or peel. You understand? And this, you can achieve this with your PVA by rubbing it on the wall. You understand? Always apply 1 to 2 coats of stabilizers. Let it dry and then screed professional. Never skip this process. I just taught you a secret right now. You understand? And the fifth is protect fresh screeding from direct sunlight. You understand? Let me explain. When screeding paint dry too fast under hot sun or fan, the water evaporates before the binder sets, leading to shrinkage, and that leads to cracking. You understand? So you have to let it cure slowly by protecting the wall from direct sunlight at least for 24 hours. And you can achieve this by using carton, sorry, to cover a freshly screeded wall, or use a damp cloth, or you can work early in the morning or late in the evening. You understand? If you're working outside, always plan your job around the sun. Not, you have to schedule it. You understand? Not to work directly under the sun. You understand? So now, for example, for 20 liters batch of screening putty, you can use 13 kg of calcium carbonate fillers plus other fillers, rounding it to 15 kg. When I'm talking about other fillers, I'm talking about, you know what it means. And you can also use 7 liters of water and 3 kg of acrylic binder. Please take note. This is an example of a premium, not a market formulation. I know most of us will want to make profit. You understand? And that is say you need to calculate the formulation for the market standard, because I know a lot of you say, the acrylic is too much. Yes, if you want to achieve a premium screeding wall putty paint, you have to use more acrylic. The reason you have to use more acrylic is because you have to balance your acrylic with your water ratio, and that is what a lot of us fail to understand. And if the water is too much and the acrylic is lessened, that leads to cracking. You understand? So you need to be very, very careful. You understand? Not just because I say use 13 kg of calcium carbonate, other fillers like 2 kg to round it up to 15 kg, and then use 3 kg of binder, and then next day be like, this is too expensive. Because I know most of us are real paint entrepreneur. We have our factories and we sell practically every day, and you need a market formulation as well. You understand? Chinedu, one of my students in Nigeria, messaged me last week. She said, Coach Glina, after applying stabilizers plus acrylic, he has zero crack and his clients are paying premium. This is the difference between a paint trier and an error hustler, and of course a professional paint entrepreneur. So let me share 3 exact inside tips with you that is also going to boost and push your screening wall putty formulation. Number 1, always shiver fillers before mixing. Very, very important. 2, use slow mixing to avoid air bubbles, because these bubbles are also going to appear on the wall. The 3rd, let each layers dry fully before applying the next coat. Most people don't even know about tip 2, but tip 2 alone saves you from 50% of crack. So now you know that wrong ratio, weak binder, bad prep equals to crack. But the permanent fixing is in your hands. You understand? So you have to make sure you produce rightfully. If you want to master professional paint production, you can join our free paintpreneur group, link below in the description, and you can also become our channel member. Why have you not become our channel member? When you become our channel member, you can also join the paint chemist formulation, where I drop formulation for different types of paints, and you can start from there to learn rightfully as well. Remember to subscribe now so you don't miss any next inside formulation. You can also book a free clarity call for some of us that want to start our paint manufacturing business. The link is also in the description as well. Thank you for watching, and remember to tell me what country are you watching from, because I reply to all comments and I would love to connect with my viewers as well. Like I said, thank you for tuning in today, and to our returning subscribers, I love you all. Bye for now.